know what? I'm testing everybody now, because now I'm looking at what my algorithms is doing on the back end, and a lot of the customers that you guys are receiving as leads are actually not only engaging, but now they're sending messages to me directly, and they're asking me to show them property. And I'm like, oh, so I'm going to cross-reference them, not to scare you guys, because I don't care, but just so you guys know that we are checking algorithms, their messaging. They're doing so much clicking on these things that they're being retargeted. So I need you guys to understand that it's going to come down to how good or how shitty of a sales day you're having. Does that make any sense? Yesterday was bad. Was it bad? Maybe it was bad for me. Am I going to live on the sorrow of yesterday and what I did incorrectly? No. I'm going to take it as a learning opportunity. What did I mess up yesterday that I can improve today? And I'm going to give you guys the key to success, because my biggest issue is that I continue to stop to attend to things that are unimportant just because I like to feel busy, but it does not result in productivity or prospecting. So when you guys are on the phone or when you guys are talking to customers, have you noticed that somebody in your family or somebody really close to you is always there, clutch, ready to waste your time? My brother never calls me, but the day that I finally made a decision that I'm going to do it, he wants to call. And since I'm like, damn, I've disconnected with him, let me feel busy and let me tell him about stuff that I'm doing that I should be doing. So I drop the phone calls, I pick up the phone with him, and I spend 45 minutes of my time with him. I've lost 30 potential contacts that I could have made to feed my family. Does that make any sense? So I'm going to give you guys a secret to success. When you are in a prospecting scheme, this is what I do, and this is why I'm very passionate about my passion planner. I've created a personal to-do list, and I've created a work to-do list. On your personal to-do list, put all the shit that always gets you to start interrupting your prospecting schedule. You guys do it all the time. Like, oh my God, I gotta go buy milk, and I gotta go buy, like, you gotta get your suits fitted during your prospecting session, because you want, like, oh my God, I'm gonna walk across the street from 9:30 to 10 o'clock. And trust me, I do this stuff all the time. I constantly find myself like, I'm gonna go take my dry cleaner, and then I have to remind myself and put myself on check. Jesse, the dry cleaning service offers a courtesy pickup and delivery. Like, do you see what I'm saying? But yeah, you're right. But I constantly want to be that guy that, oh, I want to take my dry cleaning. So you got to identify those things, because you're gonna find yourself doing busy crap that doesn't even make sense financially for your pocket. If you're not in the mood of prospecting, then you need to remember, and that's why I want to go over this. Smile while talking on the phone. Number one, you can practice that attitude. Yesterday, I was having a discussion with my wife that I'm like, man, sometimes I don't even want to talk to you, but I'm like poker face and you won't even notice it. And that's typically when I'm very short in answering a lot of your questions. Some of you guys do it. You guys don't even pay attention to it because you guys love to throw your weight around. Like, you know, people are going to fold to you. In sales, it's very different. This is me in my environment, in my home. If I dislike something that's happening, I'll start to become very quiet and very reserved, where it's very noticeable. And I want to make it uncomfortable for my spouse, just so that she knows I'm not happy. A quick fight breaks out, and then we're all good. Those are my habits. You can't do that in a sales environment. Your customer does not give a crap about the last customer that sucked. Does that make any sense? But you guys push it onto the next customer because you bring yourself down. So anyway, smile while talking on the phone, stand up tall. I know I love to sit down when I'm working, but you guys need to invest spending some time standing up while working. It is known to create efficiency. So remember that, stand up, change your work environment. I know it's a thing now to calculate your steps. I don't know if you guys know about that, like calculate how much you're walking. Maybe you should know those numbers. It's very important. I think your phone does it. If you guys have Apple iPhones, I think it has like a health app where you can log in. Most people don't know, because the only reason I know is because Adam one time was all like, I've already ran and done all this exercise. I'm like, let me borrow your phone. And I looked at his health app, and his health app said otherwise. I'm like, I left my phone. I'm like, nobody ever uses their phone. You always keep it in your pocket.
That was because of your doctor, remember?
Because of what?
The doctor.
Oh, right, because of the doctor. Yeah, that was the whole.
In Disneyland, you walk.
Hey, Disneyland's not open for a while, which I know a lot of you guys are very upset about. You know what I'm saying? No, the only reason I don't have a problem with Disneyland. I love Disneyland, but there's a problem with Disneyland that my wife sees everybody else on social media posting happy family pictures about being at Disneyland. And if you know me, like, I'm trying to work. I'm not trying to be in Disneyland until 5 years later. So it always messes up my, my whole thing, because she's like, they're doing it, you know what I mean? And I know, yeah. So it's like, man, now we gotta go to Disneyland. And anyway, the whole point is use a downswing on your conversations. I speak about this all the time. It feels very, 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 very weird when your voice is like, yeah. It's just, it's like a simple tone. Hey, good morning. Does that make any sense? Use that to your ability. Does it feel weird? Yes. I've explained to you guys that I've been around family and they're like, why do you change your voice? Like, who are you talking to? And I'm like, nobody. I was like, nobody. It's a guy on the phone. But you need to use that tonality. Hey, good morning. How are you? Not, hi, good morning. This is me and I'm calling you for this. I get it. Some of you guys take on the I'm all about business approach, but it is known in sales that your energy is transmuted towards your swinging of your voice, up or down, up or down. And I think we practiced that in the past. Know your scripts. I have all the scripts. If you guys want the scripts, I'm always prepared for the script. And one of the other things that I pointed out last time was to be excited. Does that make any sense? Write these numbers down. 7% of communication is words. Look how interesting these numbers are. 7% of communications are just words. 55%, write this down, is body language. Your body language to how you speak to people will get you the deal or will lose you the deal. I guarantee you that I lost deals on body language because I was going through the coaching, and the coaching said to me, I told the coach, I said, I did everything on the script. And she said to me, how were you sitting? I was sitting like this on the chair and I had my back kind of relaxed. I don't know if I was tired. And then I would go from here to like sitting like here. I don't know what was going on with me that day, but I didn't get the deal. And then when I learned these numbers, I'm like 55% of my sales strategy is my body language, my confidence, how I'm going to present myself. So what? Right. Yeah. So body language is important. And you know what? Here's the craziest part of it, that 38% of it is your tonality. Remember I explained to you guys when you guys are coming to the office, sing. You guys have those songs that you guys sing. Don't act like you don't. 35% you said? Yeah, 38%, sorry. 38% is like your tonality. No, I'm talking about your mood swings and you having a bad day. The customer doesn't care because just imagine that if you have a 10% conversion ratio and you're not working on tonality, hey, your sales are going to decline. So that's why I would be focused on like, I don't know, people always like, why do you talk like a girl when you get the customer? Because I understand that tonality is very important, and I'm not going to answer the phone like, hey, what do you want? Or hey, like I know I have to like, hello, this is Jesse. Like it's almost like, hey, bro, like, it's very feminine. Do it in front of my brother or somebody that knows me, because they look at me like, and they listen to the whole conversation, like, they're like, just wait, like, yeah, I'm over here already blushing, like, no, like, nah. Yeah. I think you know your voice. Yeah. So, right. So look, a lot of the time people will be like, you sound like this person, you do this like this person. I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to mirror and match success. You know what I mean? Like, I already know if you have to use your phone voice, and you know your phone voice is different. And some of you ladies, like, I always try to tell people, like, easy on how, like, hablan golpeado, you know what I mean? Like, you guys talk so, like, is there fighting words? Imagine you're like that with a customer. Believe it or not, people could feel that. I've had people tell me, like, hey, you have great energy. I've had deals that get lost over bad body language. You know what I'm saying? Like, right? It sounds like a corrido, but yes.
No, it sounds like Walter Mercado right there. What? Walter Mercado.
Yeah, Walter Mercado. That's how. All right, so here's another thing. So 7% of communications are just words, your language. 55% is body language, how you present yourself. You know why it's so important to be in your nice attire? Because if 55% of it is body language, how do you think you're going to feel if you have, I consider this my armor. Like, this is how I go to war. Every single day I wake up and I get ready, and this is how I present myself. Does that make any sense? That's 55% of it. 38% of it is tonality, so I have to be in a good mood. The other thing I want you guys to remember is you need to present with power. Write down power. Like, when you're on the phone, you have to be very, very powerful. Some of these people will eat you guys alive. And I've learned that if I'm being powerful on the phone, they can't even deal with how much power. Like, oh, crap. And I'm going in there and I'm like, hey, you said you wanted to buy a house. You're looking. I know you're actively looking. You clicked 10 times on our rebranding and all that stuff. You know, we're here to help you. When I'm talking to them in power, some of these people are in a very weak state of mind that all they need is somebody to guide them down the right path and they'll do the deal. You know what I mean? And that's why it's important for you guys to be powerful, but the only way to be powerful is if you're practicing your scripts on a daily basis. You need to know what you're telling the customer. Knowing what to tell the customer is a definition of insanity. Saying it over and over again, and you're expecting a different result. You will get a different result. Confidence. How many of you guys lack confidence in general? I still lack confidence, and I'm working on it every single day. And the last thing about this is excitement. How excited are you? You got to go into the deal like, I'm going to get it. Super crappy situation. I'm going to get it. I'm going to get the deal, right? Excited about the deal and the transaction. Here's the last thing that I want you guys to remember, because some of you guys are extremely soft when it comes down to this. I've been learning from different cultures that we have to be closers. I consider myself a closer, but I've been in environments right now where the people from different cultures are saying to me, man, Jesse, you take way too long to wrap up the deal. And I'm like, what do you mean by that? They're like, in our culture, you say you're going to do the deal, you're going to be there at 9 p.m. all day long, all night long, you're going to do the deal. They say you give up too much cool-off period. You're trying to do the appointment. If they talk to you Sunday, you want to do it Wednesday because you have a busy schedule. In our culture, if it's week 1 Sunday, you're going to do the deal on Sunday. So imagine if we all took that very, very aggressive approach to customers, how successful we would be. So you guys need to understand that at the end of the day, I want you to write this: close, close, write close again, and then close again. Always be closing, all the time. Closing is what gets you the dollar signs in there. Guys, remember, it took me 6 months to break through my first commission. I almost gave up. I wanted to give up. I had somebody right next to me, my dad, the most important figure in my life, telling me, you ain't gonna make it. Wow. It's already month 1. And I'm like, damn, it's already month 2. Damn, again, it's already month 3. Argument between parents, Jesse's gonna be a loser. Like, what is he thinking? Somebody's giving him the wrong advice. Month 4, month 5, month 6, $975 my first commission check. That was like a lifeline, $975. After that, I got the taste of commission, and I learned rapidly that I had to close, close, and close every single day, no excuses. Does that make any sense? You guys need to have that mentality of closing. So you have expectations of yourself. What are your goals today? Right away, you should know how many contacts you want to make. 10 contacts, guys, is do 10 times 30. How much is 10 times 30? Real good. 300 contacts. That's only if you do 10 contacts a day. That's why I don't understand how people break their head over this. If you say you're going to make 10 contacts and you do it for 30 days, that's 300. At a 10% conversion on 300, how many potential clients can you get if you massively follow up? 30. If you have a 10% conversion of that, that's 3 deals a month. But we forget that it's very, very minimal things that we have to do to succeed. So me, 10 contacts. Yesterday, I didn't even get to 3 contacts. I was knocking myself out. And then I'm like, but no, you were doing some other work that was relevant to what you're trying to accomplish. So you need to give yourself a break once in a while. Does that make any sense? So how many contacts will you make? Put, I will make 10 contacts. Then I would write down, I will prospect from 9 to 12, nonstop. Guys, if you guys had a job at a bank, I hate to say this, you can't just get up at the bank and say, hey, I'm done at 10:30 and walk out. You know what your manager would tell you? Go find another job.
Or go to Starbucks, or go to the
Yeah, or you're fired, period. Give yourself the respect of having a legitimate shot at this job because you have something different than others. Being an entrepreneur is not easy, but we want it easy because in a perfect world, we think everything is going to land on our lap. It doesn't. All you need to focus on is say, Jesse, I will prospect from 9 to 12. I will set, this is the interesting part, one appointment. Guys, I don't care how bad the appointment is. I don't care if the person that came in has a tax ID number that hasn't even been filed and they don't even have a down payment. You know why? Because if you practice your presentation with that customer, they're gonna be impressed. And since they're gonna be impressed, you're gonna have another person in your I've already met contact portion of your CRM. And guess what? All of a sudden, 20 years later, you've developed a huge real estate portfolio where your kids can benefit from it versus, that client sucks, I don't want them, or I only service a specific type of clientele. Every contact matters, yes.
It's about relationship.
It's all about relationships. Does that make any sense? It's all about relationships, and you guys need to be willing to pay that price. So today, you need to make a decision. I've been giving you guys, and we've structured affirmations for you guys. You guys need to develop 2 powerful affirmations for yourself today. What are those powerful affirmations? I don't know. You might need to buy your own house. That's a powerful affirmation. If you need to buy your own house and you don't see it happening because you don't have the down payment, you don't have the credit history, you don't have what you think you need, then you have a mindset issue because everything is there and it's accessible to you as long as you're prepared to take it. Have you guys noticed that when you guys really want something, you go out and get it? Why do you do that? Because you really want something.
Right. Determined.
Yeah, you're determined. Why not show determination for a career that people live lives trying to attack? And I get it. There's always going to be issues. There's going to be all type of stuff. But I guarantee you, month 6 came into my career, and then I realized that it was just about talking to people. And I picked up the yellow pages and I started to dial to business owners. And I started to talk to business owners because I figured in my mind, I'm like, who has the most cash flow? People in business. Because people that are working regular jobs, their cash flow is always set towards what check they receive. The people that are running businesses, these guys are receiving a massive cash flow, so they have huge contact lists. That's what I started to doing on the yellow pages, started to show up to their places, and all of a sudden, $147,000 6 months, the second 6 months. What happened from the first 6 months to the second? I got a taste that closing was all I needed to do and show up. You might just need to show up. And were a lot of these people crappy clients? Yes, they were, but they were always referring me, man, that guy was showing up. He keeps showing up. And then all of a sudden, I would remember like, oh, you came from that other customer. And guess what? That other customer didn't buy because he was not in the buying window, but they referred me somebody else. I took care of that somebody else. And then that person eventually got prepared within the year and he still became a client. And that's how I kept closing everybody. Does that make any sense? You guys need to do that. Take it very serious. If you guys get invited to places, you guys are the realtor in that family that everybody's like, he sells houses. I can't tell you how many times I show up somewhere where they're like, he's in real estate. And I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? I almost scared they make me feel like a celebrity. I just sell houses. Yeah, I was like, who needs houses? You know what I'm saying? So today, before we start our prospecting block, I want you guys to get away from the norm. Usually do our affirmations. Write down 2 of the affirmations that you need. You might need to be a better dad. You might need to be a better son. You might need to be a better something. Write those affirmations, make them personal to yourself, and say them out loud every single day. For me, I continue to believe that I do not work for money, money works for me. Does that make any sense? And I'm going to continue to push that. I'm not going to stop that until the day that that becomes a reality. Guys, I guarantee you, the minute that you start to engage in much larger profit margins, you won't even know what hit you if you're not prepared for this type of stuff. Like right now, I'm going crazy thinking that if there is a second lockdown, guess who's prepared? We are. So please give us another lockdown because we're ready to go. Like we survived without the open houses, and that's going to continue. But are we prepared for open houses? Yes, we're going to work hard. So anyway, write those 2 affirmations, say them,